Welcome back, word wizards. Today, our learning target is, I can strengthen my word solving skills by identifying and applying meaningful patterns. Today, I can be successful when I classify words based on a pattern, and I can apply the pattern in reading and writing. Today, we're working with prefixes again. So you might ask yourself, what is a prefix? Well, if you remember back to last week, a prefix is a word part added to the beginning of a base word. And the important thing is it changes the meaning of that word. So it can't just be any word part. So we're going to look at some examples and what the meaning of those prefixes are. How do they change the meaning of that base word? So here are some examples. The prefix re, which we looked at last week, means again. So for example, if I have re and I add it to the base word write, my word means to write again. Last week we also looked at and it means not. So if I add un to the base word or root word kind, it means not kind. Last week we also looked at dis. It changes the meaning to not or the opposite. So if I add dis to the base word honest, it means not honest, or the opposite of honest. It could be somebody who's a liar. Miss changes the meaning of the word to wrong or bad. So if I add miss to behave, it could mean to behave badly or to behave wrong, to be naughty. Today, we're going to look at the prefix pre, and we're going to look at some other prefixes too. But you can stop and study this chart for the prefix im and non. See how they change the meaning of the base word. All right, word wizards, here's what we sorted just a little bit ago. If you remember, the words in this category had the prefix mid, midpoint, midwest, midweek, midway, mid-year, midsection, and midnight. The prefix mid means middle. You can see it right there. It's kind of a part of the word middle, but it's not a prefix here because dull is not a base word. But mid, when I add it to a base word like point, means the middle point. So I could have a line and find the midpoint or the middle point of my line. Another example, if I look at midnight, base word is night. When I add mid, it makes it to the middle of the night. So midnight is in the middle of the night. All right, take a look at the rest of those words with mid and see if you can figure out what the meaning is with that prefix mid. Our next category has the prefix tri, which means three. T-R-I, three. So we have triathlon, tripod, triceratops, triangle, trimester, and tricycle. Let's look at a couple of these here. We have tri added to cycle. I know it's a cycle or something with wheels, and then it has this prefix tri, which means three. So it's a three-wheeled cycle. Let's look at triangle. So what is angle? That's a little inside corner part on a triangle. There are three angles or three inner parts of that triangle. So a triangle is a three-angled shape. All right, go ahead and look at the rest of those under tri and see if you can figure out what the base word is. And then it has three of something. Our next category has the prefix pre. Pre means before. So whatever the base word is, pre changes it to mean you do it before. So we have prepaid, prefix, prehistoric, preview, precaution, preschool, and prearrange. So let's look at prepaid. My base word is paid. Pre at the beginning means to do before. So I paid for something before. Oh, so sometimes when I buy Girl Scout cookies, I have to prepay. I have to pay for my cookies before I get them. Let's look at another one. Prearrange. My base word is arrange. My prefix is pre. So I'm going to arrange something before. I'm going to pre-arrange. So I could pre-arrange the dishes on the dinner table. I could arrange them before the meal. Take a minute and look at the other words under pre. See if you can figure out what their meaning is. Our last category is sub. The prefix sub means below. I kind of think of like a submarine. All right? So here's the word submarine, subway, sub-zero, subdivision, and subcategory. I'm going to look at subway. Here's the word way, and when I put sub before it, it means below. So it's a way that's below. So when I think of a subway, it's a train that's below the ground. It's a way to travel below. Let's look at sub-zero. My base word is zero. So below zero. Oh, I know some of those really cold winter days when the temperature is minus 10. Ooh, I could say it is sub-zero. The temperature is below zero. So, word wizards, hopefully you see that prefixes change the meaning of the root or base word. Here are the words we looked at last week, word wizards, when we read tigers in trouble. Right down here. See if you can look at some of these words and figure out what the meanings of them are. Remember, un changes the base word to mean not. For example, unhappy. My base word is happy. When I add un before it, remember it changes it so it's not happy. All right? Re. The prefix re means to do again. So if I reuse something, my base word is use. And if I put re at the beginning, I use it again. All right? Then we had dis and miss. Remember, dis also means not or opposite. So if I have disappear, my base word is appear. So disappear is the opposite of something appearing. So the magician made the rabbit disappear. That's the opposite of appear. Miss changes it to mean that you did something wrong. All right? So if I mistreat, there it is, it's hiding. My base word is treat. So I treat something wrong. Hopefully I wouldn't mistreat my plant, or it might shrivel up. So these are the prefixes we used last week and how they change the meaning of the base word. All right, word wizards, these are the most common prefixes, and I found it interesting that the 4 most common prefixes account for 97% of prefixed words. So if you know the prefix dis, in, im, ill, or re, and un, you're going to be pretty successful at figuring out the meaning of most words. But take a minute. Go ahead and study this chart. You can see the prefix, what it means, and maybe some key words to help you remember it. All right, word wizards, now it's time for you to give it a try. You're going to get out your sticky note, and as I read a pole bean tent, you're going to collect examples of words that have prefixes. Remember, you need to look for a word that has a root or base word. It has to be a real word. And then your prefix is going to be at the beginning. You can go back and look at some of the charts and some of the examples earlier in this video to help you figure out what the prefixes could be that you're looking for. All right, are you ready? Here we go. A pole bean tent. Do you have a green thumb? Then try gardening for a fun way to spend some time outdoors. You can get lots of fresh air and things to eat. Think about what you can grow. Peas, peppers, carrots, berries, and more. I think beans are best. You can eat them and play with them as well. That's right, play with them. Here's how. First, go to a garden shop and pick up a packet of pole bean seeds. Also get 6 thin poles, each at least 6 feet long. Next, set up a planting space in the garden. On the ground, outline a circle 3 feet wide. Then pull weeds and turn over the dirt inside the circle with a garden fork. Go ahead and pause if you found some words with prefixes so you can write them on your sticky note. Rake the ground flat. Then place 6 poles around the outside of the circle with their tops leaning into the midpoint. Leave a bigger space between two poles. Why? Wait and see. Tie the pole tops with string. Now you've got a pole frame. When days start getting hot in late spring, pre-soak your bean seeds. Plant them by placing 6 beans at the base of each pole and poking them an inch into the ground. Place dirt over them and water them daily. In less than 10 days, your bean plants will sprout. Go ahead and stop and record any examples of words with prefixes. When the bean plants are 3 inches high, thin them out. Take out the little ones and leave 3 strong plants at each pole. The plants must not be overcrowded. Keep sprinkling them with water and see how fast they grow. Your plants will race up the poles. By midsummer, your bean plants will reach pole tops. The frame will be overgrown with big leaves and bright flowers. These flowers will turn into beans you can eat. Now you can see why you left space between 2 poles. It's an opening for your pole bean tent. Go ahead and stop and record any examples of words with prefixes. Your bean tent is like a house with leaves and flowers growing overhead. It is a place for shade on a hot day. It is a place to play hide and seek or just sit inside and read. And it has plenty of green beans to pick and eat. One last time, go ahead and stop and record any words you found with prefixes. Make sure you add them to our class tree map. All right, Word Wizards, it's time to say goodbye until next time. Go ahead and continue to work on your hyperdoc, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks.